Well, here we are back in the studio, and I'm so pleased to have with us this morning Barbara Kauke and Gladys Baker, who are going to give us a lot of good information about the program called Great Decisions. So welcome, ladies, and I believe Barbara has the first shot at this.
Believe I do. Well, you know my name. I joined the Great Decisions Committee last year. My co-leader over here on my left is Gladys Baker, who has been on this committee for the last 12 years. In addition, and I just want to say that actually the Great Decisions program here at Green Spring has been in existence for 16 years. And Marion Burgett, who is on the committee, has been on that committee for the full 16 years. Dorothy Wheeler is another member of our committee, has been active for 10 years. And Bob Stephen, the newest member, joined us in the springtime. And my husband, Ken, came on the committee with me last year. Gladys is going to give us a little history of the Foreign Policy Association. So Gladys?
Well, actually, the Foreign Policy Association was established in 1918. It's an independent, nonprofit, stimulating wider interest in greater understanding of world affairs. I was a foreign service person, so I appreciate that. And since 1954, the Great Discussions program, which kind of broadens the civic participation and decision-making in the United States foreign policy, through the peer-led discussions. Actually, here at Green Spring, we do it a little differently than the outside group. Sometimes a group outside is maybe 15 to 25 people, and they do their own talking about the topic.
Excuse me, but what do you mean by outside group?
Oh, yeah, Great Decisions discussion groups can be established by anybody, anywhere. Mm-hmm. They're in churches and colleges and all kinds of places. Mm-hmm. But here at Green Springs, we've tried to create the program so that anyone who lives here can come. Even if they see the book that you have, this is our present 2016 book for Great Decisions, a briefing book. Mm-hmm. And so we created the program here so that anybody could come, even if you buy the book or you don't buy the book. And the FPA takes no position, the Foreign Policy Association doesn't take a position on the matters of foreign policy, but they seek to provide this training, the information on topics through its publications and the websites and the forums. And later they compile the opinion ballots that are sent in, and they send this forward to all parts of the government.
Tell us a little bit about the opinion ballots, what that means.
Oh, Barbara's going to talk about that.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to do that now?
I can do that.
Okay.
Actually, I have a report that I received, which includes all the ballots, tabulation of all the ballots from 2015. So they do look at the ballots, and they do tabulate them, and there's the percentages as to how people answered the various questions.
And they send it forward to the White House, Department of Defense, Department of State, et cetera, and the media, in case you ever get anything here.
And in the briefing book itself, there at the back are the questions for the ballots, and then these ballots we will ask you to fill them out if you would like to, and Gladys and I will send them on to the
FBA, yeah.
The Foreign Policy Association. So even if you don't buy a book, what we will end up doing is making copies of these questions, and you can answer them and leave them for us. And
yeah, we'd like you to have an opinion.
And do these opinions affect our foreign policy, do you think?
We think they do. We think they do. But of course it gives us the satisfaction of knowing we tried to make an influence.
Right, exactly.
Okay, Barbara, you want to go ahead with the topics?
Okay, well, we did talk about the fact that they do produce this briefing book, and this contains articles on on expert articles on each of the subjects which we are going to be discussing this year. The book provides maps and historical background. It presents future policy opinions and also, as we said, a unique opportunity to take part in a national opinion poll on U.S. foreign policy. Our first order of 31 books has been sold out, and I see on the screen there is information if you would like to order a book. This time the cost, unfortunately, is $26, and we're asking that you leave a check payable to me, and hopefully it says my name there, K-A-U-K-E, in my cubby at Canterbury Square 316, as we will be placing an order next week for a second round of books. So if you would like a book, please let us know. I have 3 names already of people who would like additional books.
Actually, I'll interject that I have been known to attend these meetings, and some years I've bought the book, some years I wasn't able to or didn't for whatever reason. But you're welcome anytime, even if you don't have the book. And you still can enter into the discussion if you have an opinion.
Hopefully many come in that category.
Right. So it's a very hospitable group.
Right.
So,
Exactly. Great Decisions meets on the first and third Wednesdays during the months of February, March, April, and May. Watch Channel 6 and Channel 8 for notices of the dates and what the program topics are going to be. Also, the bulletin boards of each clubhouse will have posters, and the Village Bridge also has posters. Our first program this year is on Wednesday, February 3rd at 10:30 a.m. in the Akatink Room in Village Square, and the topic is Middle East alliances. Actually, 4 programs this year are dealing with the Middle East, and I guess we can say it's a rather important topic for discussion. We begin with a 30-minute DVD interview presented by the Foreign Policy Association. This is followed by a speaker, and for this particular topic, we have Ambassador Richard Kuzlarich, who will bring his own insights to the turmoil over there and bring us up to date since the DVD and the book had actually been produced and written well before our talk. Following his talk, we will open the floor for questions and comments. The second topic is the rise of ISIS, and this should help us understand what this Islamic State is about and what danger it poses to U.S. interests. The third program, which is on Wednesday, March 2nd, will be titled United Nations, which is celebrating its 70th birthday this year. And our speaker is going to be Ambassador Teresa Tull, who is a Green Spring resident. And
Yep.
she's spoken here before, and she's wonderful and very knowledgeable. So we look forward to having her join us for that topic. Additional topics that are on the agenda. We have the future of Kurdistan, and let me just read briefly that we know that Kurdistan, it's a mountainous region made up of parts of Turkey, Iraq, Iran, Armenia, and Syria, and it's home to one of the largest ethnic groups in the West. And the Kurds have been close allies of the U.S. in the Middle East, and the question really is, what does the success of Iraqi Kurdistan mean for Kurds in the surrounding region? So that should be an interesting
that's
topic.
certainly part of the news today
Absolutely. And the next topic is international migration. And we've, of course, seen on television the lines of people, I should say masses of people immigrating into Europe. And the question is, what effect does that have on the European economy and all the countries in Europe? So that will be an interesting topic also. Gladys?
Yes, actually, then we have 3 more topics left. The Korean choices, at the end of World War II, Korea was divided in two. The northern half was Russian, occupied by Russians. Southern half occupied by the United States. I was in Germany in the occupation force. One half was was French, British, and American, and the other was Russian. And so I understand what happens. But in Korea, it's very difficult. Today, it's still in a poor condition. And another topic we have on climate change, in the past few years, the American public has been very much aware of the damage done by climate change. And it's expected that the presidential election in 2016 will be one of the first ever to place an emphasis on these changes. So we have to get as much information for all of us to make a decision how we'd like to handle this.
And we have about 1 minute left, Gladys.
Oh, I know. The last topic's Cuba and the United States. And we know what's happened recently. It outdates what this topic's about, but we will have that. And so actually, do you have any other comments?
I'm pretty, I think,
I didn't mean to interrupt and rush you, but the time is important.
Well, actually, the only thing I wanted to add was some people aren't able to get to the Akatink room. And here at Channel 6, if you pick up the weekly schedule, once in a while you'll see a Great Decisions program that was filmed.
Shown on.
And so please don't forget that. It gives you an opportunity to see it in your apartment.
Well, that's very good that you said that, because I think people sometimes forget that programs are repeated when they weren't able to see it live. So that's important to know. Any last thought?
No, actually, I think Channel 6 does a great job because I have very poor hearing. And when I go home, I know that today I'm going to re-listen to the one that we were having with
Anita.
Yeah, Anita, because I couldn't hear everything she said, but at home I can get it. 5 o'clock.
Okay. Well, so stay tuned for more information about Great Decisions, and put the dates on your calendar if that is something you would
First and third.
First and third Wednesdays,
Wednesday of
February, March, April, and May.
Okay,
Right.
there you go. And it was a pleasure and very important news you brought this morning and information. So it's another good thing that happens at Green Spring and has been here a long time. So thank you to both of you. I know Gladys has been involved so long, and Barbara for stepping up as a new person in the community. So thank you very much.